Am I live? Of course I'm live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. First things first, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. I hope everyone's having a progressive week. Health is wealth. I hope everyone's fit and healthy, and your loved ones too. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Appreciative to the Twitch gang, because you know, we've brought in our YouTube cousins, as I was saying earlier, but we was live at 10 a.m. Obviously, we're live now. Please, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, and also make sure you've set on both platforms, but set your reminders for Man United versus Chelsea, people. Live from 7:10, half an hour before kickoff. We'll be watching that game. I can't guarantee it's going to be entertaining, but it is what it is, man. I hope everyone's safe and all of those things. Now, hey, you know, it's been a progressive day for me. You lot won't see it now, but I've been kind of making my own little Arsenal. I've been eating some oranges, but making my little Arsenal April reviews, trying to get my loan reports done and my 18s and 23s and all of those sort of things, people. But it is what it is. It's a progressive day and a progressive week as usual. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Any comments, opinions, feel no sort of way about getting them in, man. It is what it is. Man said, we have lovely weather here in Cape Town, my guy. Come for a vacation. South Africa looks lit. And I'm a bit jealous, man. You know, England is, well, to be honest, it will be hot as IB for, and I'm exaggerating. And then it will be like Siberia in the same day. We're a bit bipolar with the weather. Appreciate the Twitch gang. Come on, everyone. You know who you are. Love to see the same regular names. Obviously, Pepe's been linked with Sevilla. In the apparently it's Arsenal versus Man United for Osimhen. Bellerin for 10 million quid to Betis permanently. Couple other bits and pieces to go through, man. Inter Milan and Juventus trying to fight us for Gabriel Jesus. Now I'm starting to believe we're, you know, having the wool pull between our eyes, and we're going to get zanged for Gabriel Jesus. But everything's relative, everything's speculative. We'll see what happens in the transfer market, really and truly, people. I just realized I haven't got the charger into my laptop, so unless we put that in, unless you lot want the laptop to die, we're going to be in some serious problems, aren't we? So, yeah, that's all sorted. Sit back down into my spot now. Everything's cushy, people. I caught a DG live. Trust. Love you too, my dudes. Pause in that, you know. Come on. Appreciate you lot. Shout out the Twitch ones as well, man. Come on. First time viewers in that. So yeah, man, where do we start? Obviously, as well, you're hearing Bukayo Saka. Apparently, his little knock that he sustained against United is nothing, and he'll be fit to go. A man said Saliba and Guendouzi to Chelsea. I'm not sure I've seen that rumor, but I'm going to take your word on it, my guy. You know. It is what it is. Especially with Chelsea's ban. Not sure, I believe too much into that. But fair play, my guy. Could be worse. Well, go on, DG. Finally back on the live stream. Appreciative, my guy. All the best for Pepe. It'd be kind of sad to let him go because I've not really seen the best of him. I mean, I hear you, but it's not my piece. Signings don't work out. Again, there's various reasons as to why it has or hasn't worked out. Some things Pepe has to take accountability. Some of it has been due to how he was bought, the turbulent time. But we're at where we're at, innit, man? We're at where we're at with it. It is what it is. Nip it in the bud. Let Pepe go off and enjoy his football career again. Let Arsenal move on. On the best of days, I'm not the one for these love dramas and things like that. So, yeah, let him live. Be cruel to be kind. If you're not really in the manager's favor, then it is what it is, really and truly. We need to start getting timestamps sorted as well. Sorry, people. Osimhen. So yeah, it's one of them ones, man. And play some ball. Facts. Just let him go and enjoy his life, man. away from our football club. If it is what it is, hit the like button if you haven't. Marcel, shout out to you because you're always here. Hope you're doing well and safe. Right back at you. Jesus and Origi should be our summer transfer signings, in my opinion. No. It's either one of Jesus or Origi. I mean, Origi's a decent player, and I know he's a cult hero at Liverpool. But, you know, despite all of that, despite him scoring important goals, he hardly plays. Are we going to bet on him to be the guy through the middle? I'm sorry, but at 27 years of age, 26, Origi's a good player for the squad, and he's not a terrible player. But, you know, Liverpool would look very different if they relied on him to be the goal scorer. That's a myth. I'm sorry. But you don't want good things to happen to Arsenal if you want to sign Origi and Jesus. You know, Jesus, you know, I think he's got potential to be a goal scorer and things, but his goal scoring record is meaty. Origi's is meaty. The length of contract, the wages he wants, it's obsolete, man. It just doesn't make a single bit of sense, really and truly. But to humor you, to try and illustrate the point, I'm sorry, but you know, 106 Premier League appearances, 22 goals. 31 appearances Bundesliga, 6 goals. His most prolificness is 73 appearances in Liga, 14 goals. For Liverpool in 174 games, he scored 41 goals. And I know he scores important goals. I'm not here to belittle him and that, but this is extremely mediocre. I'm sorry, but come on. What's the most he's actually hit in a season? In fact, careers, in all his time as being a professional footballer, in 301 appearances, he has, and to be honest, this is included his an appearance at under 21s level for Liverpool. I'm not making any of this up. 65 goals. That's mediocre. And even Jesus is a project player. You know, Jesus can play on the right, can play through the middle, can play on the left, but there's a lot of defining to do. His statistics at a point were quite identical to Lacazette. I believe in Gabriel Jesus fully. I really think there's potential to go up. I want Gabriel Jesus. I don't necessarily want Origi, but that's meaty. You know, in terms of goal scoring, every striker presents a risk. To get Origi and Jesus, nothing good is going to come from that. We're going to sit here and say the exact same things. You know, again, shout out to Origi, cult hero and things. But Liverpool fans will look very different if he was the guy they relied upon. Liverpool's system would be very different if he was playing week in, week out. Some men are just squad players, and that's that. For the squad, we could do a lot worse. But Origi, it wouldn't make sense. You're not playing at Liverpool. You probably won't start that many times at Arsenal if it was in my image. He's been linked with AC Milan. Go do your thing, man. You know, you've won everything there is to offer at Liverpool. You know, you're a cult hero / legend. You know, big up Origi. But on the best of days, even going back to, I swear he went 2014 World Cup. I've always thought he's meaty. That's a shit signing, man. Like, just because he's free doesn't mean anything, bro. Like, free signings, as you've seen with Arsenal, can prove expensive, you know. And he's going to want big boy P's, as you should. You're 27. There's not going to be too many times to get a half decent deal. That's dead, man. I'm saying that shit. I can't, man. It's one of Jesus and one of them guys, man. You know, even Jonathan David, they're saying 50 million for a guy that thinky, man. For a guy that's got 1 goal this year. I don't dislike the interest in Jesus, but not entirely sold. How would you sell him to fans, DG, specific to how Arsenal are building? Because there's potential. I do think if he's given a chance through the middle, he could learn to score goals. He works hard, plays on the left and the right, complements what you want to do. Arteta's worked with him. I think he does. I think he'll be a good signing, man. You get what you pay for, bro. Is what it is, man. I don't think I'm muted, bro. That must be a you problem. I can't lie to you. But nonetheless, I'm just trying to project there. Get what you pay for. We've seen it, man. When you make free transfers, you do silly stuff, man. You have to get the right guys, man. How about Tony and Jesus? I mean, again, but with Tony, they're screaming 50 million. Even that, I think it's one of Jesus and Tony, because Jesus, I think if you're given a platform, you'll score goals. You haven't got the body of work to be a 50 at this moment to scream 15 or 20 league goal striker, really and truly. It's all about a bunch of potential. I know every sign is going to present a risk, but you need to go over someone that kind of has a body of just scoring goals, and then a Gab Jesus, a Tony, a Rafa Leao, a Jonathan David, you know, and Origi. I think these guys will be great for the squad. But yeah, man, that's all a myth, man. Do you think Jesus is going to Italy? Jesus would be a rotation for right mid for Saka fighting. Agreed, Origi would be better at AC Milan. I mean, he's been linked, specifically Jesus. He's been linked with Juventus, Inter Milan. There's a lot to consider. Truthfully, who knows? You know, he might legitimately be moving to Arsenal. You heard we've been trying to get him from November, you know. We've been trying to get him since November. Edu's been chatting to him. Again, he could move to Arsenal. Maybe City are deep and they've made a mistake. Maybe they feel they're selling him too cheaply. Maybe he's, you know, Inter Milan and Juventus rumors are there, and we're going to go over that. Maybe they're using Arsenal's interest to leverage things. You don't know what's happening, people. Everything's still relative and speculative. You can't rule out him actually staying at Manchester City. I mean, why would you want to leave? Obviously, game time is one thing, but it's the rough with the smooth. If you're at one of the most competitive teams, then you need to make yourself playing games. And, you know, if you're at Liverpool, it's a difficult decision to make. If you're at City, it's a difficult decision to make. We'd have to see, man. I'm definitely not here for the Origi thing. I can't lie. I'll be real, because he will look he will look his level at Arsenal, like, respectfully. I get the feeling all these links will hype us up, and then Arteta and Edu will do a madness and go for cheap options. I mean, as I always say, we're just here to talk about these rumors, innit? Hit the like button, YouTube gang. We're just here to talk about these rumors. Whatever happens, happens. As I always say, I'll shut my mouth until the end of the window. So I'm not here to entertain Gabriel Jesus links, Osimhen, Jonathan David, Lautaro Martinez, Darwin Núñez, just every bloody striker that we've been linked with. I'm here, and midfield, I'm here for it. But you got to bring people in. And I don't know about you lot, but I'm not here for the we tried thing in the summer. I don't want to, in January, I can hear it. You know, I'm not going, I don't agree with not bringing people in, but I also don't agree with just buying for the sake of it. Either way, you don't get brownie points for trying, you know, you don't. As I always say, if you try to pass your driving test and you fail, you're not on the roads, are you? So it's dead. You know, we need to make results. It's all about results in this summer. Outgoings, incomings, certain people, new deals, etc., etc., etc. 50 mils a myth. Could Gnabry happen? I don't know. But as long as this contract is speculative, if he ever becomes available, I'd love for them to do it, really. Thuram, I don't really rate Thuram, to be fair with you, so I'll pass. My only concern, if Jesus doesn't bang, Arteta will still persist with him just because that's his guy, as you should. Really, I mean, Jesus, he works hard, which is always a scary point. He works hard. He can be used in the squad. 30 million for 25-year-old. There's resale value there, or at least you can make your bread back. I'm not too concerned because he could just give you something for the squad. But as I keep saying, as long as you sign that marquee number 9 who we can look at and say, all right, cool. If you're not scoring goals, there's an issue, but you're the goal scorer. Anything, I need a goal scorer first. Anything else they bring to the table second. Same way I do want someone part of the squad. That's why I'm here for a certain. If you could get Tony for a certain fee, Jonathan David for a certain fee, even though his form's on the floor. Gabriel Jesus has been linked for a certain fee. We were linked with Rafa Leao. That one's gone. You know, a bit like Gabriel Jesus, Rafa Leao can play off that left as well through the middle. So yeah, man, it is what it is. I'll go for Fernandinho. I mean, why not? But Uncle Fernandinho's getting on a bit. Arsenal probably give him a 10-year deal, which again spells the end for certain players, really and truly. I'm not too sure I could get behind it, really. But nonetheless, it could be something to offer. And I mean, even, I don't know if I've made it clear, but Nicolas Pepe has been linked with Sevilla. We're going to get into all of that. Sorry, what's YouTube telling me here? What's all this about YouTube? Fair enough. Slap that there. Let's go. All right. Thought we had issues there. We keep going, and we keep going. Why is Premiere Pro open? Close, man. Can you close, please? Thank you. Just close. Just close. Thank you very much for closing. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know why so many things are open, but nonetheless, it is what it is. Don't forget 10 past 7, people. It's Man United Chelsea. We'll be doing a watch along for that. Even if you're not going to be there, can you please hit the like button, etc., etc. And to be honest, I'd rather persist with Gabriel Jesus than Willian when we was with Lacazette, which we was, and etc., etc. Can you hear Champions League music? Yeah, I heard it yesterday. I was doing the watch along. If you're talking in relation to Arsenal, honestly, I don't know where Arsenal are in the league table. All I know is that everybody's got 38 games to play. We're getting to the decisive end. So if you are in with a shout at top 4, you or above, you need to get over the line and get it over and done with. Personally, people, it's just if Arsenal just keep working hard, keep applying themselves, crucially keep winning, then come the last day of May, we might look back with excitement, or we might look back at various points this season as to where we could have done a lot better, people. So I don't know, man. Do you buy players as soon as possible? Do you wait until the end of the transfer window to get the best deal? I think the bulk of your business should be done early as possible because you get them in for pre-season, etc., and it allows the manager to just think and plan with his squad. It's very hard, you got to remember the season will start while a lot of pre-season planning has been done, but it's still significantly underway. So it's something to consider. I'd say the bulk of the business needs to be done. Like if I could look at Arsenal, I would say ideally you want your striker in. You want that midfielder in ASAP for pre-season and integration purposes. You want the bulk of your business done. I want that backup left / rotation left back and a right back in, maybe an experienced right back. You want the bulk of it done. Of course, the quicker you do the business, the more you could be alert. Obviously, as the transfer window goes on, certain players that weren't available might become available. Certain situations happen. So you ideally want to do the bulk of your business and then be able to start listening to what's going on. Bro, link up play, all of that stuff just has to come as a compliment, man. I don't want another striker where there's deficiency, so we overcompensate by talking about link up play, working harder, etc. You regret not going in hard, pause for Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I would have loved him at the club, bit like our, but we've kind of been here before, innit? So it is what it is. 100 odd people watching on YouTube, 51 likes, unexpected high bills at you. Who is your ideal gettable progressive number 8? I mean, you've got a few players there, man. I'd love Fabian Ruiz. I know people say, oh, he's a bit like XHAKA. He's not. Off the top of my head, it's very difficult. You've got Aouar, who I think can do that role, and there's been a couple we've been linked with. I think Ruben Neves won't set any world alike and stuff, but basic competencies are there. I'd rather us just scout someone, if I'm honest with you. With Pepe, do you think the way the deal was structured has something to do with his lack of playing time? Might be one of those deals rising to 72 million. It is. We never gave 72 million up front. There could be variables and things at place, but I just think Arteta's just not feeling you, innit? You on the best of days, you could be rotated in, but you don't talk to Bukayo Saka. You can't talk to Bukayo Saka. So it's a bit of a myth. 1 second, people. Sorry, people. Just wanted to, don't know what happened there, but back again, nonetheless. Appreciative to you lot being tuned in. Just thought, let me do that. Bruno Guimaraes would have been lit, but it's gone, man. Klopp staying for 5 more years. Long day for the rest of the league. Good news for Liverpool and Klopp, hey. But regardless to this, related to this live stream, it's got nothing to do with it. I think if he did sign a 5-year deal, I don't think he's going to stay the whole 5 years personally. But yeah, that's good news for Liverpool, really. And Liverpool they're going to soon find themselves in a transition period. And what I mean by that is they're doing a good job of bringing in players, in Diaz, Jota, Kanate, early 20s. But then you've got Salah, Firmino, Mane, Van Dijk, guys that are not going to be here forever. You might find yourself in a bit of a Real Madrid scenario where you've got young players that Vinicius, Camavinga, they're probably ready to get more minutes and be more important, but you can't really bet on them like that. And you've got players that are probably past it. And you got to remember, as much as it must be great being at Liverpool, and it's great to watch from a neutral point of view, Klopp, Salah, Mane, they're not Liverpool men in the sense of course, they love the club, they love their employers, but they ain't grow up, but they weren't born in England, they ain't grow up, a stone throw away. It's business. I'm sure Klopp's got ambitions that are away from Liverpool. He doesn't hide the fact of wanting to manage Germany, which doesn't appear available now. Salah's got a lot to think about as well, especially with his contract, because at some point, all you're going to get from a club, and it goes for all clubs, is a handshake and thank you for the memories, really and truly. So you've got something to consider. I don't know what Firmino and Mane's contracts are saying, but they're contracted until 2023. Forgive me if I'm wrong. So there's a decision to make there, man. But they're doing their thing, man. Come on, appreciate you lot. Should we start looking at this transfer stuff now, people? Let's get into all of this sort of stuff. So let's go. What is the time? 19:35. 19:35. I mean, let's start. We've got Saliba, Bellerin, Osimhen, and all the rest of it, people. Hit the like button. Saliba, we're not going to know in it. As I always say, for me personally, I think all variables are on the table. I think there's a reality where he could stay at Arsenal next season. There's a reality where he could be sold. There's a reality where he could sign a new deal and go out on loan. There's a reality where there could be no contract and go out on loan. Everything's available. I would like to see Saliba integrated. First things first, we're very lighting midfield. I I mean, clearly, you know, Arteta spent 50 million on Ben White. He's going to play. Gabriel's the only left-sided centre-back that's suitable at this football club, not that shit one that scored the other day in Italy. So I would like Saliba to come back. We've got a young squad. He reflects that. I do think as good as I think Ben White and Gabriel have generally done this season, they've both done stupid things, as Saliba has on loan at times. And I do think they've gone through dodgy bits of form where they could have been dropped out. And when you look at Tierney, Partey, Tomiyasu, you know, the better players we have, the more we're able to rotate players and keep people fit and not see a knock-on effect. Arsenal, when Liverpool, I'm sure Liverpool fans, if they were to lose games, they would say things. But I don't think, you know, if Diaz plays, man are not going to scream, oh, where's Firmino? Where's this guy? Where's that guy? We need some of that to a degree. Obviously, if Thiago's not in the middle of the park, you see it. But they've got Keita, Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago. They got options in it. Konate is now coming at centre-half. The City could be the same thing. They're not crying about things, you know. I think Arsenal fans do this. They want depth, but then they cry when there's depth. And if there's a target on your back, if there's threats over your position, you have to up it. Like even Saka. I love Saka a lot, you know, but and he's justifying it. But he's got a free run at left on the right-hand side. Who is taking his spot? Pepe is not rated. Nobody is saying nothing. Maybe Martinelli, if form's a bit shaky, you want problems. You know, you're wearing the number 7. Smith Rowe's wearing the number 10. It doesn't get any better than that. You know, you're justifying it, but that's a target on your back. If you're playing for certain clubs, there's issues there. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo, number 7 historically at Man United. There's a target on your back, and anyone else there, you know. So I would like him introduced, but I get it. Arteta might not want to play 3 young centre backs. I think we, in an ideal world, away from all the obvious business, hit the like button, people, that needs to be done at my football club. I would like Ben White, Gabriel, Saliba. If you could find me, I don't really have any names, but someone that isn't necessarily a big profile of a defender. I just want someone that's older than these lot that knows defending, like he just lives for defending. I think we need a bit of that, because you'd have, in theory, you've got Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, Rob Holding. I think you need a 5th one. Of course, if you bring in a right back, Tomiyasu can do a job there, if required. But yeah, I would like that. But it all depends what you read in it. 1 minute Saliba's staying, 1 minute he's going this, that, and the third people. So it all depends what you read in it, because, you know, Freddie Paxton has said the agent of William Saliba, Mr. Niang, tells him, we still don't know what Arsenal want to do with William. We'll have a discussion about this very soon, I think. Arsenal will decide on his future in the next couple of weeks. Many factors at play, nothing decided yet. Regardless, I mean, if Arteta doesn't know how he's going to use his player, then there's an issue in it. We really, conversations will have place. Obviously, we're doing what we're doing in the league. Marseille are playing tonight, actually, against Feyenoord. So it's Nelson versus Saliba. It's not the time to talk, but realistically, if you've been watching him all season, he had a good game against PSG. He was shaky against that team. Same way you see my little loan reports on YouTube. The club have to be doing that to reach a conclusion, you know. So everything's on the table. I get the vibe from what Saliba says is that, listen, I'm on coming back. I understand I'm probably going to come back being 3rd choice. I'm prepared to be patient, but I need to know that if I do my thing, opportunities are there. And if we're in Europe, etc., you'd imagine that. I want problems. I want options. Maybe Tomiyasu's moving shaky. Ben White goes to right back. These 2 play at centre-half. Maybe there's a back 3. Maybe the form is shaky from both current centre-backs and Saliba comes in. Maybe Saliba locks down that row and he's moving shaky and he comes out. We need problems. You don't hear Liverpool fans complaining about Matip, Van Dijk, and my man Konate, who spent 50 or so million on. You don't hear City complaining about John Stones, Laporte, and Diaz. Stones, who just had to, until he come off, done a job at right back as well. Saliba can play right back. I'm not on it, though. I'll be real. I'm not on it. It's not adapting. It's Ben White or Tomiyasu, or you bring in the next one. He can do a job, but it's Banduli. So I think all options are available, people. It literally depends what we're on, really. So if you read that, there's many factors at play, as there should be. But I would be, if I'm a player and Arteta hasn't had a conversation with me, whether I'm on loan or not, I don't know. So it all depends what you read. So that was Freddie Paxton. Mr. Connor Hume, who I think, you know, he said, this is the first thing I saw. William Saliba's decision made as Arsenal finally learn defenders' fate. Saliba wants to return, and I think he wants to, but I think he's open to, you know what, this is the reality of football. I don't understand why you bought me for big money, but you're not playing me. But at the end of the day, I'm making progress. My career needs to keep going. This is a myth. And it would, you know, we've all seen the pictures of Saliba as a little you in the Arsenal shirt. A big song and dance was made of this guy signing, you know, private jet and stuff. To not see the guy would be a problem. But at the same time, I think fans, as they always do, they fail to understand young players. They do it time and time and time and time and time and time again. You know, he'll come in, he'll boss it in first 2-3 games, he's lit. The other 2-3 games, he's shaky, he's overrated. They've shown it with Balogun, actually Bukayo Saka and Smith Rowe as well, Martin Odegaard. Football fans really don't understand F4 really. Hit the like button. Saliba wants to return to Arsenal this summer and plans to fight for his first team place. Sources close to the player have indicated to Team Talk. As you know, he arrived at 18. It feels like he's been here forever. He's still only 21. He's played, whatever way you look at it, whether you wanted him to be here or not, going out on loan has benefited. This time last year, he didn't play for France, whether he got in or not because of injuries. He's played a lot of minutes. He's felt important. He's joined a big club in Marseille. They're challenging for Europe. They're still in the Conference League. It is what it is, really. I would have liked to have seen him last year, but I understood it. Gabriel's the left-footed centre-half. You just, for whatever reason, you spent 50 million on Ben White. There's probably not game time there for Saliba. Yes, there's been times, but you want him to play. Holding and them man are not lit like that, so they can sit on the bench. Pablo Marie, Lord God, he was there as well them times before he frauded up the place, but yeah, he spent the last couple of years on loan. He was sent back to St. Etienne. He's been at Nice, as well. He's been at Marseille. He's racked up the most minutes, 4,135 at the time of writing in any current campaign of a player 21 or under in Europe's top 5 leagues. He's actually quite up there for progressive passing. Now, I think he's not the finished article. He should return more confident. I do think, he's improved defending. His reading of the game's improved. Everything's improved. Heading could be better. Urgency could be better. Like France, it gives you too much time on the ball. You're not going to have that. He's a fantastic passer. Sometimes unnecessary passes. Sometimes not aware. When pulled into wide areas. What game was it? You could check my loan reports. Gave away silly fouls. I'm not expecting him to be perfect, but he is going to return more confident, and I would like him to have an opportunity here. I would like this curly-haired youth to be here as well, but it's done, innit, people? He's doing his thing. Marseille want to sign him permanently or get him on loan again. Atletico Madrid are onto him. Maybe the club, if they get their bread back, they might say, you know what, safe. I don't know, people. It's very unconcerned. It's very concerning. The key issue for Saliba Arsenal has always been that he was signed by the club under the old regime, and that's true. And I think that's kind of not helped Pepe, etc. But there's been players that are playing. Lacazette wasn't bought by Arteta, whether he wants a new striker or not. Eddie wasn't. Joe Willock at a time wasn't. Guendouzi actually was playing until he couldn't behave himself. Martinelli's getting game time. So it all depends. My man tried to give Mustafi a new deal. So I don't always don't always go into that, but I hear it, people. Torreira rubbed out as well. Guendouzi couldn't behave himself. Well, in my opinion, he'd still be here. So there is that. But who knows, people? Arsenal are focused on homegrown talents this summer, and because the North London club let's go away with all of that. I swear Saliba will be classed as one. That means that once the 2022-23 season begins, which is next season, no, this season actually, he'll be classed as a homegrown player, which helps us, and because we've lost a few as well, Bellerin, Callum, etc. And that will certainly work in his favor. It also makes it less likely that he'll be allowed to leave anytime soon. Also, one thing that probably could go against him, Arteta might say, well, I just spent 50 million on Ben White, so I'm not entirely convinced by Saliba. Gabriel's there. Holding's happy to be a side man. It is what it is, sort of thing. So I don't know, people. The second and main hurdle, however, centers around playing time. And listen, I'm not going to lie, Gabriel's been good this season. Is it like a Van Dijk thing where you're going to play every game? Ben White, is it a Van Dijk thing where you're going to play every game? Saliba, do you get it? So if we had one of them man there, then I understand it. But we've got young players, go out and play, man. It is what it is, people. I can't lie, we're going off on a tangent here, people. But yeah, man, it is what it is. You need rotation, especially if we're going to have more games. Once again, we've spoken about this before. There's always a chance. I won't hide that I'm happy at Marseille. I've developed. I've passed a milestone. I've gone to the French national team thanks to Marseille because there's a lot of visibility. Remember, Arsenal wanted to loan him to a Premier League club. It's a big club with a lot of pressure, but when you are good, then a lot of good things come your way. We'll see in May or June, depending on negotiations. Right now, I don't know what my future holds. And it's gone on to say, from what we understand, sources close to the player, Saliba believes he has what it takes to make it with Arsenal. As a result, he intends to return to London and fight for his place. And I think he's the honest chat. Have Saliba, Arteta, honest chat. Arteta, how do you see him? because there's no way you can say that this guy can't get game time here. But if you're moving sideways, then Saliba, you've got everyone's blessing to keep it moving, innit? The world keeps spinning, sort of thing. So that's William Saliba. Depending on what you read, you're there in it, and his agent's gonna play coy. Arsenal are gonna play coy. For what it's worth, allegedly Sylvester urges Arsenal to send him back out on loan, and I'm not necessarily against that. The man's 21, people, but I would like him here. He's played 33 times so far for Marseille. Sylvester said he should go out on loan. If you look at Gabriel and Ben White, I think that should be the partnership for next season. If Saliba comes in, he'll be back up. These men are still young. He's still young, and I would be tempted to give him another year on loan so he can become even more consistent. He's improved on this loan, but there have been some games where he wasn't at his best level, which is true, as has this guy and Ben White in Arsenal shirts. To develop and become a big part of Arsenal for the future, if you put him on the bench after playing a full season at Marseille, that would be a backward step in his development. Of course it would, but, you know, half of them, that's the levels, really. You've got to earn it, really. So I get it, but we can't talk like Gabriel's the most experienced player. He's still developing. When he signed for us, he weren't the most experienced player. This is Ben White's second season in the Premier League. Let's also remember, I know it's different positions, but Lokonga's here 76 times and Anderlecht captain, very inexperienced. At the time of when we last looked at it, Tavares played 20-odd times for Arsenal and 40-odd times for Benfica. So he's quite inexperienced. Does it come down to maybe Arteta does or doesn't necessarily rate him? So we have to somewhat move away from that. So I don't know what's going on there, really. You know, I don't know what's going on there. Saliba's agent outlines Arsenal's future with key transfer decision imminent. His agent has issued an update on the future of his client, and it's in his best interest. I mean, Saliba's in talks, in line for a new deal, as he should be. We still don't know what Arsenal want to do with Willian. We'll have a discussion about this very soon, I think. And obviously, the president of Marseille said his ambitions, in it. It's a three-way question for the club that owns the player, Arsenal, the player, and Marseille. We'll have to see our possibilities. He's very happy here. We are very satisfied with his performance. Saliba is one of the best young defenders, I've seen in my career. After all, everything depends on the three parties. It's a matter of market value, but we have extraordinary relationships with Arsenal. So yeah, we'll have to see, people. We'll have to see what's going on there, man. They're all rash. Half of these players are rash, bro. You look at anyone that looks at Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel and says anyone's clear of each other, they're lying. Like, they're absolutely lying. Ben White is even though he's bought for 50 million, there's nothing that separates him and Gabriel. There's nothing that separates Gabriel and Saliba. And out of all of them, I fuck with Gabriel the most. He's Brazilian bias, left-footed. He's a madman. He's got the new hairline, but he does rash shit. You know, Saliba does booky things. Ben White does booky things. I'd say for Ben White, I don't really feel he thinks like a defender enough. For Gabriel, sometimes he has brain farts. For Saliba, I think he's too used to being very cultured on the ball, and he needs that culture shock. So I could understand not wanting three of them in the same squad, but nobody's clear of each other, and I want them all to have an opportunity, man. Saliba's agent speaks on his future. Sorry, people. I thought let's just make that a separate sort of one. Let me see what you lot are saying, people. You know, because that was a long one. It's good to hear he believes in himself. He won't get his chance unless he won't sign a new contract at Arsenal. But again, if I'm Saliba, I don't necessarily believe that. But if I'm Saliba, even if Arsenal says your chance, I'm not signing that deal. I'm contracted until 2024. Show me, you know. Oh, cool. I'll do my job. I'll train. I'll be patient. But cool, show me. What am I going to commit to from an Arsenal perspective, of course? But when am I going to sign a new 5-year deal and then you gas me and then you shun me and then it is what it is? I'm sitting there saying, all right, cool. You know what? From now till Jan, let's just say, boom, summer. Arteta said, you know what? There's your chance. It's what you make of it. Boom. From now till Jan, I'll shut up. I'll do my thing. And I know the World Cup is another thing, but in theory, I'll just shut up until Jan. See what's going on. If the manager's moving iffy, then things have to go down really and truly. He's got a World Cup to think about because clearly you're only called up if you're on the radar, but he was called up on a technicality. So that shows that you're in the radars. Again, if you're not playing, it's a big gamble. But he does show, listen, if we want to be a big club, which we are, I don't care what no one says, you've got to, competition is a privilege. Everyone wants to play. It's impossible for everyone to be happy, but balance is a myth, really and truly. And it would be nice to have Saliba because obviously there's resale value and all these things. Oh, Saliba will learn some lessons very quickly. One game that sticks out for me with Saliba is actually not this season. He played against Diallo. I don't know if he's still at Metz. The centre back, I mean the striker, sorry, terrorized him. Absolutely stronger, faster, worked him in the channels, just bare things going on. So yeah, I think Saliba will go through a culture shock, as you would. He's never played in this league, but other than that, he'll be okay, man. But if he stays, he stays. If not, it is what it is. Just make sure you get peace. Knowing Arsenal somehow will make a loss on the Don. So that's the problem where it is. You could pick one. Who are you signing, Gnabry or Osimhen? I mean, with emotion, Gnabry, if it's based on what we probably need, Gnabry could score goals and can play up front, but Osimhen is just an out-and-out striker. There's nothing else to it. I hope you're doing well, AFC Smith. Should get Ndika from Frankfurt to challenge Gabriel. I don't really rate Ndika too tough again. And yeah, I'd pass, really. Also, a reminder that we have Trusty and Turner coming in at the end of the season. Hope they can be integrated. Well, I think Trusty's going to go on a couple of loans. Matt Turner's second choice keeper. Never seen him in my life. But yeah, I don't think that Trusty brother's going to be part of the first team. Crazy stuff. What else are you lot saying? Club is a joke. How they've handled Saliba. A bit harsh. I think Saliba, I think he knows what he wants to do, but I can see Arteta's point of view that he doesn't want too many raw talents, but Saliba will have to relearn in the Prem, and he would, but who's more likely to take to it, him or Tavares? And obviously, we all know you play young players, they do cost you points. Gabriel and Ben White have done dumb shit that have cost us points. Saka and Martinelli and Smith Rowe sometimes not scoring indirectly to a degree has cost us points. Tavares, Lokonga giving the ball away. Now, my problem is it's all different positions and stuff. It might just come down to if a man rates you or not, because no one can sit here and tell me Saliba is going to cost you more points than Tavares and Lokonga. And if you're willing, especially in Tavares, if you're willing to blood that, then you can blood get Saliba. Different positions, of course, but I'm sure you all get the premise of what's going on. But we'll have to see, man. I don't really rate Tagliafico. Do you think a more experienced centre-back is needed to mentor? At times, yes. And I think with young players, like you see, sometimes they go through great form, sometimes they go through dodgy form. Ben White's been good this year, but he's had dodgy moments against Spurs, against Norwich/Leeds, where he gave away the penalty. I actually feel this last month, I think he was terrible at Chelsea away, if I'm honest with you. Gabriel, I'm a big fan, but he's done the same. Them things there are going to happen. That's why I said if you could find that bridge player, someone that, ironically, with Gabriel's profile, Pablo Mari's profile, 28, 29 or whatever, not really the most established of dons, but the crucial thing with a real defender, someone that's really had an education on defending, someone that lives, breathes, eats, shits defending. Like if you could go Italy and grab someone, ain't got no list, that's what I'm on in it. Someone that there's just relax. I know when you come in, there's certain things because I think we need that. I think at times both could benefit from that. Same way at times Lokonga would look better when he if he's not next to Odegaard and Smith Rowe against Brighton, where they're both learning their own roles, let alone playing the new role in number 8s, and then he's left by himself. It's just them things. Young players cost you points, but you can't tell me Saliba is going to cost you more points than Lokonga and Tavares. Tavares probably should hit alone. There's every reason for Lokonga to go out on loan next season. For me, he stays and he's part of things. I want a left back, which probably isn't going to happen. So that would probably mean Tavares goes out on loan, probably try, get experience, put him in the shop window and profit. Too much time. He is under pressure, but there's bare time on the ball in France. But these are things that are naturally going to happen, man. Everyone should be keeping their cards close to their chest. Saliba shouldn't come out and say things. The club shouldn't say anything. His agents. What I'd say, Saliba, control your destiny. Don't let the club, don't let Marseille, don't let anybody gas you. Do what you want to do. Listen to your heart, but make a calculated decision, man. It's baffling as to why you haven't. It will really pee me off if you're not given an opportunity at least to play a game for the noise, but make the right opportunities. You've got to look at things on a cold-blooded thing, especially because Arsenal are doing this youth project thing. Like, we're doing this youth project thing. What do you mean? Me, 21 years of age, French international, you bought me and made a big song and dance. What do you mean I can't be part of this youngest squad in the league and what you're doing and all these things? I'll be sitting there and say, brother, I am the reflection of the manager, as a manager should reflect. I'm young, hungry to prove myself in the game, as should Mikel Arteta. And if they're not hearing none of that, then it is what it is. I don't know how we find gems, but just do you scout properly, innit? Bro, trustees, them, what's that guy at Chelsea? Is it Myzigo or something like that? The American done. Them man, they are just, it's marketing things, man. Like, it's a marketing. Hopefully it works. It's like that Palmer Brown. Them man, they're just gonna, it's just marketing, man. You're gonna get sold in that, man. Probably money laundering still. Ain't Kroenke doing the transfer thing between two clubs? But if there's any talented players around there like that, then let's do the Watford Udinese thing. But that's crazy. Tarkowski out. I'm not really on that. Would you take Ben Godfrey once upon a time? Not really at this moment. Not being funnier than Ben Mee. He's doing up coaching now, isn't it? Like, he probably wants Arteta's position. I don't know about none of that, though, bro. He ain't on that again. Dead food, man. Dead food. But used for peas. Just to make peas. Would you extend Eddie and Nketiah's and ELNENY's contract if we make top 6? Eddie for peas. You know, because Eddie, he's developing now, and he's pulling out wide, he's dropping deep, he's given goal, everything's getting a bit better from Eddie and Nketiah. So I would want to give him a new deal just because man's 22. You might become someone at Arsenal, a rotation, a first-choice striker, which I don't believe, or something, or you might go on loan in 12 months, 18 months, and become a £20 million player, and we might say, you know what? We can use this right now, isn't it? Because Haaland has to make bread. What bread is it making? Obviously, Joe Willett made some peas. Iwobi made some peas. We never got nothing for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. That's why I like tying down Balogun. You know, he got an assist yesterday. Hopefully, Balogun can keep developing. And one day, we all want these guys to come through and be first teamers of some sort. But if not, peas. Look at Chelsea, obviously. Signing Lukaku and getting rid of Tammy in hindsight looks dumb. But look at if they done it correctly, the peas for Tammy Abraham. You know, the piece for Gurhey, the piece for Tomori. If they ever said we're selling Reece James, Mason Mount, how much are they getting? If Conor Gallagher doesn't get a sniff of the Stamford Bridge shirt, how much money is that bringing in? What did we get for Ainsley? What have we done for Nelson? And it comes down to what we're doing with these guys, developing steps. We need to make bread. It's not just about if we're meant to be self-financing. So there is a reality. I'd give Eddie a new deal. I mean, ELNENY, just because there's going to be bare games, he seems happy to be a sideman. I am open to it. You know, I am open to him just being on the bench. You know, we forgot ELNENY was an Arsenal player until the last week, and history is being revised. So some part of me is on that. But on the other hand, I think it's the wrong decision. Like, we can't be having man because they're nice guys and they're happy to sit on the bench and things. Now, we need rotation, but does that send out the same message? I'm not saying ELNENY's like this, and I know he's not the biggest earner, but we sit here and say players are comfortable. They don't care if they don't play. They're on big wages and things like that. We know ELNENY loves the club and all that tosh, but would that not be the same logic? Just because he's on 50, 60 and not 200 or whatever, would it not be that it's comfortable? You know, and he's a good guy. Unpopular opinion, I want good guys, but I want good footballers first things first. And, you know, history is always, when it comes to guys like CEDRIC, ELNENY, which ELNENY's better, history is rewritten. There's too many men at this club where you forget they play for this football team. They come in, history's rewritten and all these sort of things. I'm not against ELNENY signing, but it's probably just new, man. As I said yesterday, you know, you might go through your wardrobe and you've got clothes that have seen better days that you know you need to throw away. ELNENY might be a jacket where it's not no designer brand, but you like it. It's calm, but it's just been there for time. So it's just new things now, like everything new. Like if we could get two midfielders, Lokonga's there, other guys, share the minutes out, man. He's dead, man. ELNENY, you know, if we was in the Europa League, them group stages there, if we get to the Champions League by God's grace and we qualify early, then the 4 to game week 4 to 6, the Carling Cup, the FA Cup, here and there, that's his thing. It's a myth, though, man. Even Arteta knows it's a myth. ELNENY's barely played. He tried to leave in Jan. He's a body. He's just a name and a number, which I don't mind because that has to happen. But I don't think it's the right decision, personally. Because also, again, you've got to remember, what length of contract are you going to give him? He is getting older. So I don't like this word decline because it doesn't mean you're getting worse. And ELNENY's game is based on the engine, but he doesn't really rely on anything. So you don't want to get tied down to these players. Like we've got CEDRIC until 2024. That affects what you're doing. We heard he wanted to leave in Jan. We keep hearing these. The same theme keeps being, oh, they were going to leave in Jan. They're staying and now they're playing. History is rewritten. And I think when you look at couple of these players, Lacazette, no one wants to give him a new deal down. You go back to the start of this month, and I'm not necessarily against even that, but Are these the right decisions? Only God knows. If we look at it without emotion, and I look at it without emotion, and just what a club should be doing, then it probably is that, man. It probably is that. It's probably best people keep it moving, really and truly. But at this moment in time, they can help us qualify for Europe. You know, this was the time where you lot have known the whole month I've been screaming El Nene, El Nene, El Nene, even back to Palace. It's just like, cool, I might not rate El Nene. I definitely don't rate Cedric, but this is where you're looking at your experienced players to at least drop a 5, 6 out of 10. Our young players are too volatile, and it's unfair, regardless of what I think about Tavares, El Nene, the young players, the Haaland boys doing their thing, and Martinelli. It's unfair for them. For on the best of days, we over rely on them. If they don't score, they don't do the business. We don't get 3 points, especially in this period where that youthful naivety can help, because they all, you know, Saka must be looking at it like, well, Foden's playing in that, Vinicius is playing in that. I want to be a young tug in that. But at the same time, and that can help us, but at the same time, it's not fair to put that pressure on them, really, really and truly. I don't think these lot are bad squad players. I don't think there's only about 2-3 players contracted to Arsenal that I genuinely think are bad footballers, and I'm talking the squad dons. But when they're together, it's meaty, bro. It's meaty. Like, obviously, we didn't really, in hindsight, you know, we've paid for not having a centre mid or striker in Jan. We've played a dangerous game at fullback, like you've seen with Tavares and XHAKA having to do them things there. Centre back, God forbid, touch wood, pause, why for that? We played a dangerous game because our centre-back options, even letting Chambers go, it's a bit meaty. A couple of other clubs held on to Dons. So it's an interesting one. But when I look at it without emotion, man probably need to go, man. I'm not being funny, but you must be able to find someone that can do the El Nene thing that's a bit younger and that. They're too volatile, but Arsenal fans need to keep their expectations in check. What do you mean? Always heating up, got a brace on the weekend, never giving up on our. Perfect example with Lacazette. And then we're going to talk about wages. Like, this summer transfer window will define Arteta's reign at Arsenal. Challenging for top 4 spot is the minimum requirement. Let's move on from XHAKA and El Nene. They've ran our course. But then you said we need Jesus and Mitrovic/Tony. Loud the Mitrovic one, my guy. But yeah, Lokonga could do with a loan in the Championship or Serie A. The P we got for Tomoy was a joke. We should have got more. Exactly. Like, yeah, the negotiations is one thing, but there's P's. You know, really. You look, Livramento, peanuts. But him and Lamptey couldn't get a sniff near the first team. When you look at the money brought for academy prospects without the obvious that we know, that's what Arsenal need to be on, really and truly. I know he didn't come from Haaland, but peanuts for Gnabry because we didn't patent the contract, you know. You're not really getting peace for no one. Joe Willock's the best example off the top of my head. It won't be before him. You could have made, in a reality, there could be a scenario where you get 20 million of Eddie Nketiah. For years, I've said Tyrese, John Jules, Eddie Nketiah, and Balogun, they've all got potential to make it in some capacity here. But if not, you should be getting in a scenario where you're making 45 to 60 million off them 3 players, 20 million a pop. Chelsea would do that. That's what we need to be on. I don't like praising rivals, but you have to look at what other industries doing. And I like Chelsea's generally. I know this season contracts are running down, but generally Chelsea's approach to how they make peas off Cobham and all these things is good. The way Liverpool manage their squad is great. The way Liverpool in the last 2 years, 12 months, whatever, have been fixing problems before they become a problem, bringing in other centre halves, bringing in other attackers is something to learn from. City pushing excellence. You've got to learn from your rivals. Really, if that's the territory we want to be in. I hate to praise them, but them 3 teams have won the league more recently than us. They've won the well, 2 of them have won the Champions League. All 3 of them have touched the final more recently. And they've all, would you say Chelsea have a better squad? I'd say definitely Liverpool and City. Chelsea probably do have a better squad. But I look at their squad, I mean, I don't rate a lot of the Chelsea players, if I'm honest with you. Same with ours, like, it's all Defenders FC, really. Like, but still, they probably do have a better squad, really. Squad. It's keyword squad now that I think about it. So, yeah, probably. Interesting comments, as always. You lot are in top form, people. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Again, you lot are just making me make new timestamps, people. These are the timestamps we have so far, man. I've always found it interesting that the interesting hour dried up. I don't know, why, but yeah, man, it's like him. Generally, someone like Renato Sanchez, it's like there's rumors and rumors and rumors, and it just feels they left. and no one's going for them. So what does that mean? It's sly like Bruno Guimaraes, where Newcastle making us and everyone look stupid for not going for him, but everyone's onto him, and then he's left alone. So what has happened there? And I think, not to make excuses for the clubs or anything, but maybe it's one of them ones where unless you're in the footballing world and you don't know, and you know all the variables and all the them things regarding it, I think it's one where it's just going to look baffling to us, isn't it, really? I don't know, though, really, but that's just my thoughts. If I'm honest. One love, Twitch gang and YouTube gang. Again, I thought you lot weren't going to support the team today. How sadly mistaken was I? I can't lie to you lot. We've got 258 people on YouTube, only 104 likes. If you hit the like button, 100 was the target. So first things first, thank you very much. If you haven't, unexpected high bills will be due, mate. If a sale of Saliba could bring you in Marquinhos, would you take it? Yeah, but when we get back to reality, Marquinhos said he's happy at PSG, and PSG have a bunch of problems. You can't go from PSG to Arsenal. You'll do your head in, really. The young players would improve, but you have to marry them with certified things, man. It's not fair on the young players for me. Even players I don't rate. It's not like life ain't fair, but Arsenal's I know we're doing the youth player thing, but it's correlated with our results. We're not getting results if the young players don't stand up to be counted, and that's the project we're doing. But at the same time, that's where I'm a bit harsher on the experienced dons. XHAKA has been amazing this month, and generally he's been all right this whole season. But we all know what XHAKA is. I think Partey's had a good season, but I'd also describe it as stop-start to experienced players. CEDRIC has come in and done half decent, but let's not rewrite history. ELNENY history is going to be rewritten. The whole squad, the whole duration. We know what time it is, people. Do you get it? So it's the experienced players I'm looking at. Lacazette, 1 minute new deal, you lot, and now no one's saying that. It's the experienced players I'm looking at, and I'm like, we need to get a bit more out of them. That's why, for me, all right, I could sit here and let's just say Joe Blogg's a young winger and he's looking a bit inconsistent. But if you've got him, I can do that. But if you've got Willian, where you've bought him for big money, man's 31 and he's stinking up the place, I have to be harsher and shit like that, because these are guys for the present. What they do now sets things up. You look at the Liverpool squad. Jota is early 20s. Trent is 24, so you can throw him in there. You've got Harvey Elliott, Carvalho to come, Curtis Jones, Konate's a young tug. Couple of other people, and then you've got players you'd probably define as the present, the Robertsons, the Van Dijks, the Salahs, the Manes, the Firminos, Thiago, 31. What they do with these players now defines what the young players can do, because if Liverpool fuck about, don't get Champions League, it makes it harder to bring in marquee talent and players that are levels with their young players and players that can improve the squad. What we do now presents the platform. If we get top four where the young players have led it, but experienced players have played a part, that sets up what we can do. That sets up bringing in a better player. That sets up what we, the trajectory of the club, really and truly. So again, that's why I'm harsher when I forget players are part of things, and then they're back in that. We need to, and the word experience is subjective. It doesn't always tend towards age and things like that, because I would describe in our squad Odegaard, Ramsdale, to a degree, Ben White as experienced players, especially within this youth squad. If I'm honest, Tomiyasu to a degree as well. So yeah, man. Botman's decent still. But Saliba's time will come. He's maturing as a player and a person. He's been through a lot, and it will strengthen him. Trust. And clearly, Marquinhos is better than Saliba. I mean, like I said, in that fake reality, if it could happen, then of course. But we can't deal with la land, and we shout to everyone. Let's for real get into some of this transfer news, because I keep saying it and we're taking the piss. Keep your opinions, etc., coming. But let's close that. That's Saliba's. Goal.com's irrelevant. Goal.com's irrelevant. That is irrelevant. Let's spin the block for Arsenal one more time as well on the good old Google. Change that to an hour. I mean, if you're in America, tickets are on general sale for Arsenal versus Chelsea in at Atlanta, people. Man said at Atlanta. I'm reading something else. That's in Orlando, people. Apologies for that one there. Brazy. What's going on? Oh, yes. Say, yes. I'm here for this. Cedric to Newcastle. Yes, you know the thing. Come on. Big up Marcelo Flores for playing for Mexico last night. But come on. This is why you have to spin the block for transfer rumors. Let's go. Where the hell do we start, mate? I don't know where we start, people. I'll be absolutely honest. I don't know where we start. So let's start here, man. Uncle Ian, shout out to Uncle Ian. Come on, you know. My mate.
People
Ian.
deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on, Ian. Come on. But he said ELNENY has to stay at Arsenal after impressive displays against Chelsea United. Bars on the floor, Ian, man. That's reactionary, bro. 29 years of age, knows the league, knows the club, good guy. All of these things, kind of happy to be a sideman. That's calm. What message that sends out, I don't know, because other players, we sat here and said that's not what we want. That's not the culture you want to promote. And unpopular opinion, I want good guys, but I don't mind difficult characters. I want good players, in which ELNENY kind of is. But apart from him being a squad player, you know, that's not a reason to keep him, because we can bring in other squad players and distribute the minutes appropriately, or bring in another number 6. So there's stuff to consider. But Ian has said, we're talking about players who came on, who would do a job for their manager with unbelievable professionalism. ELNENY may be leaving at the end of the season. If you look at that performance and the one against Chelsea, you can only think to yourself that if Arsenal are trying to build a team to get top 4, you need that backup player. You do, but, you know, we telling you can't find another ELNENY? Pardon me, he has to stay. For him to come in those 2 big games, which are arguably 2 of the biggest games in Arsenal's calendar, those are massive games. And for the level to come in, the last time he played was December, and play at that level, you have to say hats off to him. That's true. But then there's got to be a reason you ain't played since December. If Arsenal want you, if Arsenal say we want you, I don't think about leaving. You did in Jan. But despite all of this, it's my family for 6 years. I love this club. I always love a challenge and give 100% all the time. I don't decide who plays, but I keep going in training to see how good I am to make him Arteta play me. If I don't play, I keep going until I get my chance. The contract and stuff, I'm just waiting for the club to decide what they want. Maybe that is a decision. And big up ELNENY for that. I haven't had to doubt your professionalism when I look at you and CEDRIC, because you lot are more experienced. Maybe that's why certain other young players have left, but that's dead, man. He's played 9 times. So when you move away from the euphoria, Arteta's not rating him like that. He rates him because of what he does and how he behaves and stuff, and how he can come in, and he's done quite well. Take nothing away from him. But come on now, man. We're here to win games. We're not here to make friends, man. Big up ELNENY. Would not mind him. I'd rather give him a deal than Lacazette, if I'm honest. But yeah, man, emotional. Let's skip ahead, people, because it looks like Osimhen might be keeping it moving. Man United move ahead of Arsenal and Newcastle in the race for Victor Osimhen after opening talks with Napoli striker's agent, with bidding set to begin at 84 million after obviously Newcastle failed to bring him. United are understood to be leading the race for his signature. He has 16 goals in 28. Arsenal are also keen to prize him away from Naples at the end of the season. His agent is leading talks. Mr. Freddie Paxton said that we've contacted his agent. He wants to move to the Premier League like us. Man United want a striker. So we're all going to get linked with the same guys, Osimhen, Nunes, etc., etc. And some clubs can buy 2, but not everyone can have the same thing. I'm always wary of things that link Arsenal in Italy, so take it with a pinch of salt. You can't blame him for wanting to join Man United. You know, again, you can't blame him for wanting to join Arsenal or Man United, as he's talked them up. He's 23. He's getting a lot of interest. You know, again, Napoli are difficult to do business with, but money talks, people. United, have already opened discussions with Osimhen's representatives, who is the bridge that connects Naples with Manchester. It's understood he's leading negotiations over his client's potential move, and he's due to hold a summit, people. Following Newcastle's January offer, and with Arsenal also eyeing a deal, Napoli expect a bidding war for their striker to play out. And that's what they want. A bunch of English teams who they just, like English tourists, they just see you as, not in Italy necessarily, but around the world, money, money, money. They're going to be looking at it. United have the money just to pay the fees. Newcastle got the fees. Arsenal had 70 million for Vlahovic. Add a little 40 more on that. You've got the money in it. So that helps Naples. But again, every team, it's not really the time to discuss transfers and things. And again, Champions League might be an advantage. Arguably, if Napoli are in the Champions, you know, regardless of if United's in the Champions League, if United call for you, money, what the club used to be, what the club is, you go. If Arsenal call for you, I still think you'll go. But if Napoli are in the Champions League, does it make sense to leave? I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Hope we get Fabian Ruiz anyways. But yeah, I think this report just echoes the same thing, saying the 23-year-old's agent has had a secret meeting with the chairman of Napoli. Man United have made a bid. So it is what it is, people. With that, I'll get into that last. Apparently, Louis Saha. It's been a while since I've said that name. Former Fulham and United man. He doesn't have the killer instinct, and right now Gabriel Jesus doesn't. He doesn't have a proper body of work as a striker. But I'm still taking him. He's got a year left. Saha has warned us not to go for him, people. He said sometimes he's been criticized because he doesn't have the killer instinct, something that Ruud van Nistelrooy and Lewandowski, all those players. He's been working hard for other players, but this is the style of Manchester City. He may be not as deadly as some of the world's best, but he can improve, which is true. If he works hard in front of goal, the emphasis is on him to link play, be very diverse, going left or right, because that's what City needs. If he was a goal scorer, they'd adjust their needs. But he's a good player for the team, not necessarily good of his own right. I'm taking him because I still think he's got the potential to score goals, even if not. I think he's an option up front. He's an option on the left. He's an option up front. There's resale value there at 25. I mean, if you can't make Gabriel Jesus a better player, then we might as well forget about Arteta. You've worked with him before. The only one who managed to do that was Kun, and he was an immense finisher. When you have that quality, Guardiola will say, okay, put Kun on the field, he'll do it. That's not the best quality of Gabriel, but he may be able to adapt to a different style of Arsenal. They definitely need a striker if Lacazette is leaving, and yeah, we've been linked with him, people. So we'll make of that what you will. Gabriel, this is of interest to Juventus and also Inter, and this report says they're going to fight it out. He's not expected to sign a contract extension, and Inter Milan and Juventus will tempt him, people, where there's enough Brazilian man at Juventus. I'm sure you could speak to the legend R9 about his time in Italy, people. So yeah, man, Juventus, he could get in there really and truly. For Inter, Alexis is expected to leave. For Juventus, Dybala is leaving, where they can play in the same roles, but Dybala is a completely different player. So why not? And everyone would love Gabriel just for the squad, man. You know, he works hard. He's very selfless. He's good for the squad. He's not really developed into a player you could say you could rely upon to make things happen and whatnot. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm taking Gabriel Jesus. What's all of this? Saka, Arsenal are hopeful Saka will be fit for Sunday. We'll deal with that when it's that. Apparently, Arsenal want to sell Hector Bellerin for 10 million euros, people. Now, some money is better than nothing as long as you put a sell-on clause. Big up to him for winning the Copa del Rey and that. Peanuts, considering Barca made a big boy bid for him a few years ago. Let me actually... Barcelona bid for Hector Bellerin. I'm sure they made a mad bid. Oh, well, 20 million. You look, well, you can't see it. 2017, Barcelona confident of 45 million Hector Bellerin deal. 2020, Arsenal brace for 40 million Barcelona Hector Bellerin bid. Last year, Barcelona set to make opening bid of 20 million. I mean, boy, his contract's running up. He wants to stay. Money's money in it, and we got him for free as peas in it. I can't see much happening for Bellerin. Who knows? But yeah, man, 10 million euros, which is about 9 million quid. This is Google Translate, people. According to information from Sky Sports, the defender of La Roja, with 4 caps for Spain, would be ready to give up his comfortable Premier League salary to continue playing in Spain, estimated at 20 million euros. Arsenal could let him slip away for half as much, given there's only 1 year in his contract. Why not let him, man? Peanuts. Other teams would do better. Put a sell-on clause. Safe, you know, because I thought Bellerin would be one of the hardest ones to go. I mean, this is just linking us with Osimhen again. What's all of this saying? Newcastle poised for move as Arsenal player eyes the exit door. Leno rumours, I bet this is. Newcastle are poised to make a move for the imminently departing Arsenal goalkeeper Leno as they continue their search for a long-term successor to Dubravka. How much are you saying? He's contracted until 2023. Newcastle are dumb enough to probably pay us more than we got for him, really. I mean, it's up to Leno, really. It'll be a big move, big contract. He's still in England and that. I'm not sure if Newcastle's prestigious enough for him. But yeah, he's only played 8 games this season, half of which were in the cup. I mean, the last time we get the clean sheet, I think you played. So it must be something. He's 30 years of age, people. He's got a year left on his deal. He's set to be allowed to leave. I would love Leno to say I'm cool being a second choice goalkeeper, but he's not. I don't know anything about Matt Turner. So yeah, man, the quicker we get players contracted until 2023, the Torreiras, the Ainsleys, the Reece Nelsons, the Lenos, there's probably a guy I'm missing. Get it sorted, innit? Really, get top whack for these guys, innit? Really. What else? Apparently, this is saying Victor Osimhen now dreams of securing an Arsenal move. Arsenal are one of 2 clubs Osimhen is dreaming of playing for. Probably us and United. Arsenal dreamt of signing the Nigerian. So everybody's dreaming. What we doing to make it a reality? He's dreaming of Arsenal or United. See, he knows football heritage, man. He knows two big clubs when he sees them, people. Obviously, Arsenal have released a player. American international Heath has departed after just 18 months, people. Make of that what you will. According to this, it's saying Nicolas Pepe could be set to move to Spain. La Liga giants ready to gamble with transfer of 25 million rated Arsenal misfit. I mean, you know you've fallen off when Sevilla onto you, you know, really and truly. You just ask Martial. Pepe is attracting transfer interest from Sevilla ahead of the summer. As you know, his future is in doubt. Sevilla, according to this publication, believe it could be worth trying to bring in Pepe in an attempt to revive his career. If I was you, I'll be trying to go back to France. Arsenal, we must be able to use this guy in negotiations, man. Try and use him. I swear Napoli try buy him. Try use him in what you're doing for Napoli. Try use him in what could go for Benfica. Could you give him on loan? They cover a bit of his salary to Lyon. He goes on loan. He goes to Lyon, French league. He does all right. Someone buys him next year for a cut price with a year left on his deal, and we can use him to try and get our. I don't know, people, but yeah, people, it ain't worked out for him, and I'm sure he's comfortable in London. He's comfortable in the club. He's just not playing games, which is probably the L in it, the L in itself, really, for the young man. Well, I say young. He's my age. He's not young. Well, 27. Some of you might say he's young still, but you get the point. Some of you might say it's old. Someone called me Uncle DG on this the other day. About to say, the fuck? Leave that to see, man. That's the uncles in here. Or Jason and I am hitting them where it hurts people. But yeah, man, allegedly, according to the Mirror, Bellerin's decided he wants to join Betis on a permanent transfer. We've already discussed that. Let me close that. I ain't no I'm trying to talk on Bellerin too tough. And apparently the good times are not done, man. Big up Newcastle and Eddie Howe, man. You know, I'd rather you lot buy Cedric than Leno, because Leno will probably have offers. Arsenal Cedric Suarez is a transfer target for Newcastle, according to this Italian publication. Speaking on the Portuguese international, he could move to a fellow Premier League team. I know football's universal, but you get it. He's contracted until 2024, same as Pepe. So we have to have made a decision for him. You're doing what you're doing, innit, really. 30 years of age, got 2 years left on your deal. You, Pablo, Marie, surely we've made the right decision on these guys already, people. I don't know, people. So, yeah, he's made 21 appearances. Bloody hell, mate. They're gassing in versatile fullback. In fact, yeah, trust Newcastle, versatile fullback and that. You think you've seen anything? This is the real Portuguese fullback. Cancelo got nothing on him. Buy that, man. Buy that. You got one that Tavares as well. Apparently, it's claimed Eddie Howe's side have identified the former Southampton man as a target, mainly because of his flexibility to operate in multiple positions. Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, man, I'm all for that. Apparently, it's a proposal of less than 5 million. Do that, man. Do that. Ben White, bring in a centre back and let Saliba. Ben White can do right back, man. Do that. Ainsley could stay for a year if that's the thing. Ainsley, if you accept being a right back, you could be part of this squad, you know. I'm not gonna cap. I'd love for someone to let's just move 30 and just buy someone. But you get the point, people. I'm all for that. That's probably the happiest news I've seen. Arsenal sounded me out about a possible transfer. Brazilian striker reveals Gunner's move that never was in 06. Who? Man said Wagner Love, you know, with the blue extensions. And I saw Brazilian. I was thinking someone lit. That's meaty, man. Ain't no one care about that. What's all of that about? What's all of that? Oh shit! Pressed the wrong button. Sorry, folks. That always happens when I try and accept cookies and shit. Sorry, folks. Cardiff to meet Arsenal, Southampton, West Ham, and others in the next week as loan targets identified. Who do you want to loan from us? Fair enough. If our 23s can go Cardiff and kick ball, I'm all for that. But it's not specifying who you're trying to cut. But yeah, go and take some of our players. What's Kevin Campbell said here, people? Diehards like myself want Granit Xhaka exit in spite of Mikel Arteta dream. I don't want Xhaka exit. I like Xhaka. I just want you to be part of the squad. I don't think the 29-year-old, it's a bit, you know, Arsenal do this thing and we've been doing it. Like guys that are decent squad players, we make them first team regular. Strikers that are good for the squad, we try and look at them to score 20 league goals and act surprised. You know, I do think Xhaka has a bit of a bad rep. The man's got, at this moment in time, I think eight or so bookings, hardly indisciplined. You know, I think he's had a decent season. The problem is when he makes mistakes, they're magnified to a high magnitude, and it's quite sad. But what you see is what you get. Xhaka is probably, for me, the most prestigious of our hot and cold players. When I say hot and cold, Pepe, Xhaka, Lacazette, ELNENY, flavor of the month stuff, Cedric, you know, these my guy Rob Holding. I love the guy Rob Holding. Guys that 3-4 games, certain man are going to talk about new contracts. 3-4 bad games, people are going to make articles and say, well, this is why Arsenal aren't kicking on. You know, and that's at the point where Arteta, I genuinely believe, yeah, you've signed Partey, but until you sign that number 8 and kind of move on from XHAKA or use XHAKA in another way, we're not going to do nothing 30. Look at Liverpool's midfield, all the options, not even necessarily the players, just to highlight the importance. City, the importance. Chelsea have struggled of recent because midfielders are not fit. Kante's form's dropped. Kovacic is in and out. Jorginho, I don't know what's going on. Strikers win games, defense wins titles. Every week it's the midfield battle, and I do like the little things Arteta tries to do. I like how he deploys XHAKA in the forward sort of 8 or the more withdrawn, the deep lying role. I like it. It's not the time for it, but I did like in theory a lone 6 in Lokonga, Smith Rowe and Odegaard being 8s. I like what you're doing, but you got some men are not old enough and mature enough for what you want to do, and some men are not good enough really for what you want to do. So, and you were a midfielder. I think we're having too much of this conversation, man. But yeah, I think XHAKA's one of our players of the month. Bars on the floor, really. Campbell, how you have it linked up with me on my channel, I don't know, but Kevin Campbell claims diehards like himself would prefer XHAKA not being at the club. Listen, he's playing well, and Arsenal fans are sharing their appreciation. It's not that the fans don't like him; it's what he did. The fans were against that. Man, make mistakes, man. I mean, I can't, Bobby. I'll be real. XHAKA, you can't hold this against him. Obviously, some fans are never gonna forgive him. Some fans, they're XHAKA sexuals. I just think they're up his arse, pause unnecessarily. Most fans will just concede, and I'm not saying Kevin or anyone isn't. It is what it is. He was moving mad. The club was moving mad. We've moved on. And I kind of like to see the celebrations and the things you hear about how the XHAKA's relationship is now. He's never going to be universally liked. It is what it is sort of thing. Move on from it. We can't keep holding. And players have done a lot worse. Like, then swear at things. People have done a lot worse in their personal life. People have been doing drink driving and certain things like that, not to talk too tough. And we ain't said nothing. He ain't killed no one. Like, I mean, let things be gone, man. I'll be real. Like, only the hoes are gonna keep feelings and shit, man. This ain't what football men and women are meant to do, bro. It's for the birds, really. He did it. He did that, and I said it at the time. I was there. I didn't agree with it, and I thought at the time we needed it. It got too toxic. We needed to move on from this. But bro, you can't tell someone to fuck off, and when they say fuck off, get scared or be surprised just because you've paid a ticket. You don't own, man. The fans were against that. Any fans who saw one of their players throw the shirt down would react the same. Yeah, he shouldn't have thrown the shirt down. There would be a rift, but man are drawing him out. Like, come on now. The team are doing a lot better at the moment, and XHAKA is doing his job. If a player is doing the business, the fans will want you. Trust. Diehards like myself would prefer him not to be there, but that's just me. I don't like what he did. And I wouldn't say you're not a diehard fan if you do want XHAKA there, because many people say his heart's on his sleeve. And that's one, you know, XHAKA's ability, and what I mean by ability, he's got ability, but that higher echelons of ability to help Arsenal progress is one thing. I've never had to doubt his integrity, his commitment to the cause, and where we love him or hate him, the man wears his heart on his sleeve. So you could say, you could see why XHAKA is like. You could say that's why probably Emre currently Arteta, even though he's on course, and Wenger obviously never got top 4. But there's got to be a reason guys are fucking with Granit Xhaka. There's got to be a reason Jose Mourinho wants him. Now I could say these lot are bugging, but there's got to be something. So I don't agree with the diehard thing. Is this that them sort of language there is like, oh, the real fans and that is booky language there. The fact of the matter is he's playing amazingly well. He's stepping up in the absence of Partey. That's false. There's been times where they've been together. Partey has looked like the one. There's been times this season Partey's looked wavy without Xhaka. Equally, let's not lie. There's been times where man have said, we miss XHAKA. There's been times XHAKA has carried Partey. It's a mixed bag. As I said, hot and cold dons doing hot and cold things, you know. He loves scoring against United, as he said. He does his thing. And the only opinion that matters is Arteta's, because he's backed him and he plays him. But that's now where I move on from XHAKA and I look at Arteta. All right, cool. He's not picking himself. So give me a reason to what we're seeing. I don't think we improve with XHAKA and Partey as a pivot first choice next season. I don't think we improve. And that's not, I'd love to be wrong. It's just, it's not the thing. We've got guys that are not fit. Dons that are still learning, Dons that can't break down low blocks. The one Don who probably could in the pivot role needs the best midfielders do things. If you can do things in 5 touches, you do things in 5 touches or less. Certain man can't do that. So we're in a dangerous and a booky scenario if I'm completely honest with you people. So that's transfer news. What are we on? 1 hour 14, 40, let's call that. CEDRIC, LENO, Pepe, BELLERIN, forwards update. It's one of them ones, really, if I'm completely honest with you, lot. A former Arsenal player has told the Gunners to raid Rangers for captain James Tavernier. Hey, why not, man? For someone who's a fullback, he does score a lot, and obviously, like, Scotland tax. It weren't applied to Tierney, but Scotland tax. But why not, man? Would you take Kamara from Watford? Nah, man. I see man celebrating being a goal down to City. That's not what I need, man. DG, do you think a player's aggression can be improved? Yeah. But to a degree, you've got to have that in you. How much would you expect for Leno? 10, 15? But when you got man contracted, when you've got man contracted until 2023, it's a myth. The Marquinhos talk is like when we was trying to get you to sign Neymar on FM. To be fair, we did sign Neymar, didn't we? But purely paper talk, bro. He will score more goals than LACAZETTE. That's not really achievement. Bars on the floor. I hear you, though. Vlahovic snubbed Arsenal just to sit fourth with Juventus. He's probably more likely to win a league title there than us. Wait, what the fuck? Nah. What the fuck? Swear. Nah, man, he ain't dead. That's fucked. Fucking hell, blood. RIP Mino Rinola, as usual, people. Thoughts are with his friends, family, and loved ones at this difficult time. And the man's died at 54 years of age. Obviously, elite agent. Sorry, I've always had admiration for Mino Rinola. I know agents are demonized and all of these sort of things, but that's only because clubs don't like him. He takes no shit. He does great for his clients, and he got paid a lot last summer. Half the players, big money profile players that were going to leave this summer are his clients. Haaland, Pogba, they're other players, but forget all of that, man. Like he. So his family, he's a human first, isn't it? I'm sure he's an uncle. I'm sure he's a dad. I'm sure he's something. So thoughts are with his family, and I think he's shown that you can go from zero to nothing. He's shown that you can chase your dreams. He's shown that you can build an empire, and he's a footballing legend when it comes to this agency thing. So once again, R.I.P. Mino Rinola. That is very shit news. I can't lie. Apparently, he's suffering from. He recently had surgery on an illness and he's had lung disease. So I don't know why that is, people. Allegedly, he was hospitalized back in Milan in January and he underwent a very delicate surgery, but the nature of the illness was not revealed. Reports said at the time the condition wasn't life-threatening and that Rinola would begin a period of rehab at home. And like I said, in terms of dreams, this man went from humble beginnings, like working in a pizza shop, to flipping big money deals, man. Obviously, at the time, he's obviously without finding this news, Lukaku, Ibrahimovic, Haaland, Mkhitaryan, Verratti, Balotelli, Pogba, crazy, man. Clubs, and I know the clubs don't like him because he gets the best for his clients. That's every agent should be on what he's on. Yeah, he used to get paid a shitload. So did his clients. Clubs don't like him. You got to remember, clubs are a business. Any business, the whole premise is to retain more money than you're letting out. And that's why they didn't like him. But forget the agency thing. The man's a human first, innit? So may his soul rest in peace, man. And thoughts are with his friends and family. What a shit bit of news, man. Fucking hell, man. That's so shit, like. I don't know him, of course, but it's just, bro, man's 54, man. Get him before your time, bro. Like 54 years of age. On a rumor as well. Yeah, sick players. I'm trying forget him. Obviously, we only know him as an agent, man. The man's a human first, man. Flipping now, he's battling lung disease. And this is why you have to live. It sounds cliche, but this is why you have to really go after your goals in life, man. You have to really try and achieve things and live life on your own terms, because we've all got a sell-by date, man. You know, life is a currency we're all spending. And this is why I always say at the start of the live streams, I hope you're all doing well and healthy and moving closer to your goals. You lot think I'm just saying these things because they're nice to say. It's peak out here, man. And I would, you know, Mino Rinola's got what I want, man, in the sense of he's got eternal life, man. You have to judge life on how you've touched the lives of others, how you've impacted others, what you've done. And the man's got a legacy. Legends don't die, innit? Yeah, they might not physically be here, but what he's done is going to be remembered for time. So may his soul rest in peace, man. That's a very shit bit of news to have to speak and whatnot, man. Love for you lot, even though, yeah, it was fucked. Love for you lot updating me. I never saw that one. Wish I didn't sum up now, but mad thing, man. Yeah, it is Marseille Feyenoord tonight. Saliba versus Reece Nelson. RIP the guy, man. Exactly. It's not like XHAKA woke up that day and just decided to toss off the shirt and flip off the fans. He's an intense person, not a huge fan of his, but those managers hug with. Well, exactly. He's a tug. And I like that from XHAKA, you know. Maybe it's because I'm on that XHAKA stuff, bro. I would do the same thing. I can't lie. If you lot told me to fuck off, I'll tell you to fuck off as well. Like, can't lie to you. Like, I can't lie. I'll dash the shirt as well. Like, maybe that's why I like him. I doubt Kevin Campbell said die hard. I doubt it as well, but we can only go off of what he, like, it was in quotations, allegedly, what he said, did it? You know, once again, I'm not, yeah, I don't advocate that. This is allegedly Kevin Campbell chatting. Diehards like myself would prefer him not to be there, but that's just me. I didn't like what he did. If that's come out the horse's mouth, you said that, like, appreciate that. You signed Neymar, then you got shook when you looked at your funds and saved. It's gone. To be fair, no, we signed Neymar the next year, man. RIP him, man. Stay safe, man. And you lot really go over your goals. Don't just because someone's died, don't just do all of that. Oh, live every day like yourself. People really try and overcome hardship and move that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, man. This world, bro, we have to die one time, you know. And some of us are gonna go before our time. So live your life with no regrets, man. Trust me, live your life with no regrets. Try and do what you're doing, man. And I've always thought like this. I actually mean, death is something I've had to deal with from a young age in it. So to a degree, I'm kind of sensitized from it. But without revealing details, there was a family member that I again watched pass away quite slowly. And I used to sit there at the hospital. And I would look left, I would look right, I would see people with family, I would see people by themselves, I would look into like the faces of the old men and women, and I always thought to myself, I wonder what these lot have done with their lives. I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder that we're all gonna somehow just be in hospital, or there's a certain way everyone's gonna go out one day. It's like when I go to, even when I went to the last funeral, obviously when you get I don't know what it's called, but you know, like the leaflet, like where typically it's somebody's life, and that's all gonna be us one time. I got a bag of them in my room, like a bag of them. RIP all my ones, but I got a bag of them. That's gonna be us one day. You know, we always think these shits is not gonna be us. It's gonna happen, man. Fucking hell, man. I think Reece Nelson deserves just one more chance. I'll do everything for Nelson to have a chance, but he's contracted until 2023, broski. So something might have to happen, man. Fucking hell, man. I wonder what the players will do now, though. They're gonna have to. I don't know if Mino Rinnola had a like. There's a structure in place where there's other agents that can do what he's doing. I don't know, man. Apparently, Pochettino, when asked about the percentage of his future at Paris Saint-Germain next season, as of today, I'm 100% staying, and the same for Mbappe. He's changed. Crazy stuff, man. Wonder how the players them are feeling. Apparently, Barca and Xavi are keen to keep the young. Frankie de Jong wants to play in the Champions League, and Man City are interested in him, with Pep an admirer of the player. So whilst Manchester United have been interested long before Erik ten Hag's arrival, at this moment, those factors seem to reduce the chances of FDJ go into OT. Well, I mean, football don't matter. When you find out news like that, football don't fucking matter, does it? It doesn't matter about anything, really. Like, nothing else really matters, does it now, folks? Not a damn thing matters, really. Like, crazy, man. On that note, people, hit the like button. What's the time? It's 1 p.m. So I think I'm live on Twitch with Matisse and Rants. Go grab a toast and then pattern that one there up, man. But on a serious note, man, I feel live their lives, man. Guys and girls, live your lives, man. When it's all said and done, and I can't lie off topic, but there's going to be a lot of fake love shown to MINO Raiola from clubs. Obviously, it's the right thing to do and to say RIP, but a lot of you hated them. I always get peed off about that, and just fake love. Obviously, death is death, but God forbid, please, God, if I ever die before my time, please, the pagans, people who don't like me, please just don't say no thoughts and feelings, because I'll come and haunt dons. Like, just let man live. We die every day, man. We die every day, bro. We're dying every minute. We're dying now, like, literally. So I might have to live. Lung disease, man. Not going to lie, DG. I have personal problems. We've all got personal problems. Don't feel any sort of way about that, my dude. I suffer a lot from depression and anxiety and typical stuff, but the little things help. Sitting here listening to you talk about our club makes my day sometimes. Broski, I can never take credit for that. If this is some sort of platform or vehicle that allows you to, you know, feel a part of something, then that's what we do it for. And that's how I judge my day, man. Obviously, I've got goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations. And I've said it before. Sometimes I think, hey, like, the fuck am I doing? What's the point? To know that there's things like that, I appreciate that, man. But you're stronger than you know. And obviously, man, don't say you ain't got problems, bro. Everyone's got anxiety. Everyone goes through bouts of depression. Like, bro, listen, I've never been diagnosed as that, but I used to tell you, like, I used to sit in parks, in Tottenham Marshes till late, thinking how shit life was, bro. Like, to the point where I'd cry, I'd be angry, I would be emotionless at some points. I'd look for problems, like, literally, like, depression comes through. You know, you might not even get it, but I'm a jokey kind of character in it, with my friends would say, because I know how it feels, in it. Once I go home or go alone, man's not like that, in it. So you ain't got no problems, my dude, man. You ain't got no problems, bro. Life fucks you up anyways, man. Life fucking us all up, man. I might be lagging, but realistically, there's nothing I can do. And in the grand scheme of things, who gives a fuck about me lagging or connection or any of that bullshit, man? I'll reset my internet if I could, but gives a fuck. One love for the member thing, man. Be a bit serious, my guy, man. Come on. I will be. We've spoken about it, man. Come on, man. People are losing their lives. People are talking about depression. Man are talking about fucking internet, bro. Come on now. Pattern up, man. Please. Make sure you're subscribing and following, folks. Appreciate that. Crazy as well, man. Crazy as hell, bro. Crazy as hell. But yeah, on a serious note, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you've hit your reminders, people, across Twitch and YouTube. 7:10, we go live again. Yeah, man, I'm going to lock this live stream off. I'm back at 7:10. Check out the content. Throughout the course of the day, I'll be cutting up clips and all that good stuff. Yeah, man, I'm going to go get a bit of lunch and then, pardon me, jump on with Rants and Matisse, man. So you lot stay blessed, stay safe. Obviously, where the timestamps are concerned, I've got the timestamps here. If you've just joined and whatnot, they'll be put into the video instantly as well. So yeah, in fact, let me do that now, because sometimes I forget to do that. So let me do that right now. So yeah, man. And as I've said, man, listen, don't just because someone's died today, don't just do it for one time. Listen, live your lives, people. You know, don't sweat the small stuff as well. Like, man, are talking about, even me, I'll sit here and I get vexed about certain things, and it's not really that deep, is it really? So yeah, man, you lot stay blessed, stay safe. Back again when we're back again, as I said, man. You lot attack your goals, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, and all those things. Stay safe, stay healthy, safe.
You always use that active red light, defending. I think it's like